After his father dies, a small, scared little lion gets kicked out of his home, his kingdom. He spends many years all alone, but slowly he grows up and gets strong enough to go back and face the new king. Today we're going to talk about what happens in The Lion King, the 2019 movie. So the sun comes up, and all the animals across Africa hear the big news. There's a new baby prince. Everyone wants to show respect to King Mufasa, so all the animals come together at the king's rock. Rafiki, the wise old monkey, puts a mark on little Simba's head and holds him up for everyone to see. He is the future king. The animals celebrate, and then they all bow down to the little prince. But wait, not everyone shows up. Scar, Mufasa's own brother, skips the whole thing. Instead, he stays in his cave playing with a mouse he caught. Right when he's about to have some fun with it, Zazu flies in. Zazu is the king's messenger bird. Because of Zazu showing up, Scar loses the mouse. That makes him angry, so angry that he tries to eat Zazu right then and there. But just in time, Mufasa walks in and stops him. Mufasa is not happy. He tells Scar straight up he didn't see him at the ceremony, and he really wanted him to be there, but Scar doesn't care. Hez still bitter. Hez upset that Simba, his little nephew, is going to be king someday, instead of him. Mufasa looks at Scar and asks him directly, "Do you want to fight me for the throne?" Scar backs off. He says no, he knows he can't win. Mufasa will always be king, but Mufasa shakes his head and says no, not forever. One day Simba will grow up, and Simba will be the new king. And that thought, that really gets to Scar. The next morning, little Simba wakes up and goes to find Mufasa. He wants to go on patrol together, but instead of going on patrol, Mufasa takes his son up to the very top of the highest rock. He shows him the whole valley down below and says, "All of this, everything you can see, this is your kingdom." Simba looks around totally amazed. He asks his dad, "Do you rule all of this?" Mufasa smiles and says, "One day, all of this will be yours to take care of." Simba gets excited and asks, "So we'll own all this land?" But Mufasa stops him right there. He says, "No, son. A true king does not own the land. A true king protects it." As Simba looks out at the valley, he spots a dark, shadowy area in the distance. He asks his dad what that place is, but Mufasa says, "Clearly, don't ever go there." Right at that moment, Zazu flies in with news. Some hyenas have been spotted hunting inside their territory, so Mufasa quickly takes Simba back home and goes off to deal with the hyenas. Back home, Simba starts walking around and sees some other lion cubs, then suddenly a little beetle runs right past him, and you know how kittens are. Simba can't help himself. He starts chasing it. He plays with it, follows it up the rocks, and then, oops, he falls and lands right inside Scar's cave. Simba is excited and starts chatting away about what it's going to be like when he's king. One day Scar sees his chance. He casually asks Simba, "Hey, has your dad ever mentioned the Dark Lands?" When Simba says no, Scar leans in and tells him that place is an elephant graveyard, and all the grown-up lions go there to show how brave and strong they are. That's all Simba needed to hear. Now he really wants to go check it out. He runs off to find his best friend Nala and asks her to come along, but their moms not so happy about it. They are worried the cubs will get lost, so they send Zazu along to keep an eye on them. On the way there, Simba quietly tells Nala where they are actually going, the elephant graveyard. Nala's eyes go wide. She says they need to ditch Zazu first. So the two little cubs start messing around, chasing each other through a crowd of flamingos and zebras, all just to block Zazu's view and lose him in the crowd. It works. They slip past the elephants and zebras and hide together in the tall grass. And just like that, Zazu gets stuck in the middle of a bunch of other birds, with the bird out of the way. Simba and Nala run off together. They are playing around wrestling with each other, and then Nala jumps on Simba and knocks him right off the side of a hill. She stands over him and Simba looks up and tells her to stop. But then Nala looks around and she realizes where they are. They have made it all the way to the elephant graveyard. She tells Simba they need to go back. They are way too far from home. But Simba Hez not listening. Hez excited. He ignores her and keeps walking through all the old elephant bones until he gets to a cave. He starts exploring the place. Nala looks around nervously and tells him it's getting dark. She wants to leave, but before they can go anywhere, a group of hyenas shows up and surrounds them. One of them, Shenzi, comes up from behind and says, "She can't wait to eat the king's son." She moves in, ready to attack. Right at that moment, Zazu flies in. He tells the hyenas to let the cubs go. He warns them if they attack, they'll have Mufasa to deal with. But Shenzi does not care. She tries to attack anyway. Zazu fights back and smashes right into her face. That gives Simba and Nala just enough time to run. They find an underground tunnel and try to escape through it. But when they come out the other side, they're right in the middle of the hyenas again. They're completely cornered, no way out. And then Mufasa arrives. He comes in fast and hits the hyenas hard. He fights with everything he's got and sends every single one of them running. Then he looks at Shenzi and says it clearly, "Stay away from his son." Shenzi backs down and agrees. Mufasa takes the cubs and brings them back home safe. Once they're back, Mufasa asks Zazu to take Nala home. Then he turns to Simba. just the two of them. He tells Simba straight what he did today, put the whole kingdom in danger. It's a serious talk, but after that, Mufasa doesn't stay angry. He starts playing with Simba to lighten things up. When they both get tired, they sit down together and look up at the stars. Mufasa looks up at the stars and tells Simba something beautiful. All the great kings who lived before them are up there, watching over them, protecting them. But while Simba and his dad are having that quiet moment, something dark is happening on the other side. In the middle of the night, Scar sneaks over to the elephant graveyard to meet the hyenas. When they first see him coming, they think it's Mufasa coming for revenge, so they get ready to fight. But then they realize it's Scar. He calms them down and gets to talking. Scar tells them he heard about the hunger spreading through their dark lands. He says that's actually why he sent those two cubs over to feed them, but the little lion made it back alive. The hyenas growl and say they'll just eat Simba then, but Scar stops them. He says he can offer them way more than that. Shenzi asks what he means, and Scar lays it out. Help me become king, and I'll make sure your bellies are always full. He says Mufasa has to go, and once he sits on the throne, everything changes for them. The hyenas think it sounds crazy, but they agree. Scar tells them his plan to take over the kingdom. The next morning, Scar takes Simba out for a walk, just the two of them down into a gorge. He tells Simba this is the special place where lions find their roar. He says this is the only way Simba can win back his father's trust. Simba believes every word. He starts practicing his roar right there. Then Scar says he has to head out, but will come back to check on him later. And just like that, he's gone. Simba is alone now. He looks around at the other animals and tries to roar at a lizard. But what comes out? A tiny little meow. Then suddenly the ground starts shaking. Simba looks around confused. A huge herd of wildebeest is charging straight into the gorge. Simba has no idea that it's the hyenas pushing them in on purpose. He runs and hides behind a rock, scared, just waiting for it to be over. Meanwhile, at the King's Rock, Scar shows up and tells Mufasa there's a stampede in the gorge and Simba is in the middle of it. Mufasa doesn't stop to think. He and Zazu take off immediately. When they get there, they can see Simba holding onto a tree, trying not to get swept away. Scar quickly tells Zazu to go get the lionesses. And just like that, he's alone with Mufasa. And Mufasa rushes down and charges right into the middle of the wild herd to reach his son. He grabs Simba in his mouth and puts him up safe on a rock. But then one of the wildebeest slams into Mufasa, the branch breaks, both lions fall. Simba thinks it's all over, but Mufasa fights his way up and finds Simba again, catching him and placing him somewhere safe. But Mufasa gets hit again. The herd runs right over him. He's hurt badly, but he pushes through and starts climbing up the side of the gorge. He's almost at the top. He's going to make it. And then Scar is standing right there at the edge. Mufasa looks up at his brother and begs for help. Scar just stares at him, and then slowly he digs his claws into Mufasa's face and lets him fall. Mufasa drops back into the gorge, and the last of the wildebeest trample him. The king is gone. Simba climbs back down into the gorge. He's looking for his dad, and then he finds him lying there completely still. Gone Simba cries out for help, screaming as loud as he can. But there's nothing anyone can do. He lies down next to his father's body and just waits. Then Scar shows up. He looks at Simba and starts shaking his head, asking him what he's done. He puts the whole thing on Simba. He tells him everyone is going to see him as a criminal, the worst kind. Simba is scared and confused. He asks Scar what he should do, and Scar tells him run. Run as far away as you can and never come back. Simba promises, and he walks away. The moment Simba is out of sight, the hyenas step out from behind Scar. And Scar gives the order, get rid of the cub. The hyenas take off after Simba runs as fast as his little legs can carry him, but he slips on a turn and flies off the edge of a cliff. Shenzi wants to make sure he's dead. She sends some of the hyenas down to check, but when they get down there, they get scared. They decide there's no way anyone could survive that fall. So they go back up and lie to Shenzi. They tell her they ate him, but just a little way down, Simba is lying under a tree, alive. He waits for the hyenas to leave. When they're gone, he gets up and climbs down the rest of the ravine, and then he just starts walking through the desert with no idea where he's going. Back at the King's Rock, Scar stands up and gives a big speech. He tells everyone how heartbroken he is, his brother and his nephew both gone. He says he didn't get to the gorge in time to save them, but then he says the kingdom can't go on without a leader, and just like that, he takes the throne King Scar. And because being king is too much for one animal, he says he needs help. He calls the hyenas up to rule right alongside him. Meanwhile, out in the desert, Simba keeps walking day after day alone. He gets weaker and weaker until finally he just gives up and collapses on the hot sand. After a few hours, a group of vultures start circling around him, moving in to eat him. But then a wild boar comes charging in and scares them all off. Once the birds are gone, the boar walks over to Simba, and sitting on top of the boar's head is a little meerkat. The meerkat jumps down and goes to check on Simba and realizes he's still breathing, still alive. The meerkat gets scared and runs behind a rock, but the boar Pumbaa looks at the tiny cub and says he's just a baby. He tells the meerkat they should take care of him, and when Simba grows up he can protect them from anything. Simba slowly gets up. The boar and the meerkat introduce themselves and ask him how he ended up out there, but Simba doesn't want to talk about it. He just keeps walking. The meerkat. Timon watches him and realizes how much pain he's carrying, so he stops him. He tells Simba he has the power to change his future, and then he teaches him something, Hakuna Matata, a way of life. No worries, no problems, just keep moving forward. As Simba learns about Hakuna Matata, he follows his two new friends to a brand new place, a beautiful valley with a waterfall right nearby. When they arrive, Simba says he's hungry. Timon tells him straight away, things are going to be different now. No more zebras, no more antelopes. That's all in the past. Then Timon nods at Pumbaa, who flips open a log, and underneath it are all kinds of bugs and insects. Everyone digs in. Caterpillars aren't really Simba's thing, but he goes for it anyway, and just like that, life goes on. Days turn into months, months turn into years, and that little cub slowly grows into a big, strong, young lion. Back in the kingdom, though, things are falling apart. One by one, all the animals are leaving. They're running away from Scar, from the hyenas, and from the terrible drought that has taken over the land. Nala watches from the King's Rock and wants to do something, but her mother stops her. Then Zazu flies in with news. The last of the herds are gone, but before he can say much more, the hyenas go after him, and he has to get out of there fast. Scar shows up with his hyenas and asks to see Sarabi. Mufasa's wife Nala doesn't like it one bit, but Sarabi goes anyway. Scar tells her he wants her to join him at his table. Sarabi doesn't hold back. She tells him straight that he's hunting way too much, and that's exactly why all the animals are leaving. But Scar brushes it off and says he's only gotten better with his army around him. Then he gets to the real point. He wants to give her a chance to be queen again. He says the other lionesses listen to Sarabi, and because of her, they keep pushing him away. But Sarabi says no, flat out refuses, so Scar punishes her. From now on, he says the hyenas eat first, before the lionesses get anything, and everyone knows the hyenas Dawn to usually leave much behind. Nala has had enough. She waits for everyone to fall asleep, and then she makes her move. She's going to leave the kingdom and find help. She quietly tries to slip through the rocks in the dark without anyone noticing. But Scar wakes up. He catches a smell in the air and knows someone is trying to get out. He starts following the trail and gets very close to finding Nala. But right at that moment, Zazu pops up and pulls Scar's attention away, giving Nala just enough time to slip away into the night. Far away from all of that, Simba is still living his Hakuna Matata life, eating termites with Timon and Pumbaa like it's the best thing in the world. After a long day of eating, the three of them lie down and look up at the night sky. Timon says the stars are just big fireflies. He turns to Simba and asks what he thinks. Simba goes quiet for a moment and then shares what his father told him, that the great kings of the past are all up there watching over everyone who is still alive. Timon and Pumbaa burst out laughing. Simba doesn't find it funny at all. He gets up quietly, walks away from them, and goes off on his own to eat some bugs alone. Then he lies down and looks up at the stars by himself. A little tuft of hair falls loose from Simba's mane and drifts down into a nearby stream. A bird spots it floating in the water, picks it up and flies off with it, using it to build a nest. And from there, that tiny piece of Simba's mane just keeps traveling, moving through Africa, passing from one place to the next until it finally lands in the hands of Rafiki. The old mandrill looks at it closely, and he knows Mufasa's son is alive. The next morning, Timon, Pumbaa, and some other animals are walking through the forest. Suddenly, Nala leaps out of the grass and goes straight for them. Pumbaa panics and runs as fast as he can, but Nala is faster, way faster. He knows he's not going to make it, so with no other choice, Pumbaa runs straight towards Simba. Simba steps in to protect his friend. The two lions go at each other, neither one recognizing the other. They fight hard until Nala knocks Simba flat on his back, just like she used to do when they were cubs, and that's when it clicks. Simba looks up at her and realizes who she is. He's thrilled to see her. He tells her she's going to love it here, there's plenty of food, it's a great place to live. But Nala isn't there for that. She tells him what's been happening back home. Scar is in charge. The hyenas are running everything. She asks Simba to come back and help. Simba still carries that guilt from the past. He tells her this is his home now and shows her around. Nala is genuinely amazed by the beauty of the place, but she stays on it. She asks him why he never went back. She tells him Scar has destroyed the land. She pushes him to stand up to his uncle, but Simba says there's nothing he can do. Nala looks at him and says it plainly, he's become selfish. Coming to find him was a mistake, and she walks away. Simba needs some space. He heads out on his own, walking and thinking, and that's when he runs into Rafiki. Simba doesn't remember him at all. To him, Rafiki is just some random animal. He tells him to leave him alone, but Rafiki says he's there to help Simba find himself. Simba thinks the old monkey is out of his mind and keeps walking. Then Rafiki stops him and tells him he once held Mufasa's son in his own hands. Simba turns around. He asks if Rafiki knew his father. Rafiki says he still does, because Mufasa is alive. Simba's ears perk up. Rafiki tells him to follow. Simba chases after him until they reach the edge of a river. Rafiki stops and tells him Mufasa is here. Just go to the water. Simba walks up to the river and looks in. Rafiki asks him what he sees, and then he tells him Mufasa lives inside him. At that moment, the sky opens up. A huge storm rolls in, and through it, Mufasa speaks. He tells Simba he must take his place in the cycle of life. He must become king. And then before he goes, Mufasa tells him he has always been right there beside him. Remember, who are you? Those words hit Simba deep. Something changes in him. He makes up his mind he's going back. He takes off running and finds Nala out in the desert. He tells her they're going home. Together they run until they reach the gorge. Simba stands there and looks out at what the kingdom has become, and he hears his father's words again. Protect everything. The light touches. Then Zazu appears. He sees Simba and can't believe it. The prince is back. And right behind him, Timon and Pumbaa show up too. They tell Simba they're with him. Whatever he's walking into, they're right there beside him. They're all together now. Simba, Nala. Timon, Pumbaa watching the hyenas move around, figuring out what to do. Simba looks at the situation and says, there's only one option: live bait. Someone has to go in and pull the hyenas away. That someone is Timon. He has to walk in there and draw them out. Up in a tree nearby, Rafiki watches everything. He picks up his old staff and gets ready to fight, over at the King's Rock. Scar is at it again, trying one more time to convince Sarabi to be his queen, but Sarabi doesn't hold back. She looks him dead in the eye and tells him he is nothing compared to Mufasa. That sets Scar off. He goes after her and starts attacking her. And then Simba walks in. He tells Scar to get away from his mother. The lionesses see him and they're overjoyed. Simba is back. Scar is not happy at all. He quickly tries to pin everything on the hyenas, but Nala steps forward and says it clearly. Scar's time is over. She calls on the lionesses to stand with Simba and fight. Scar stays cool. He says things don't have to turn violent. He says he would hate for someone in the family to get hurt, just like Simba. Everyone looks confused. Then Scar turns to Simba and pressures him. Tell them what you did. Tell them you killed Mufasa. Simba, still carrying that guilt, takes the blame. And the moment he does, Scar piles on, insulting him, pushing him back until Simba is right at the edge of the rock. He slips. He's hanging on, barely holding on with his claws. Right below him, a bolt of lightning hits the dry grass and fire breaks out. Scar looks down at his nephew dangling there and says, "This looks very familiar, just like when Mufasa fell." He says he looked into Mufasa's eyes that day and saw the fear, and he sees that same fear in Simba's eyes right now. Then he leans in close and whispers, "It was me, I killed your father." That's all Simba needed to hear. He bites Scar's face and pulls himself back up. He gets on his feet and faces his uncle. Scar quickly tries to turn it around and accuses Simba of wanting to kill him, but Sarabi has heard everything. She points out that Scar always said he arrived at the gorge too late, but he just said he looked into Mufasa's eyes as he fell. He was there. He did it. The lie is out. Scar panics and orders the hyenas to attack, kill everyone. Nala immediately leads the lionesses into battle. It's all-out war between the lions and the hyenas. Far away, Timon and Pumbaa think they've shaken off the hyenas and ducked safely into a cave. They're wrong. The hyenas come pouring in behind them. Timon has no choice. He charges at them, and somehow it works. The hyenas back off. Back at the King's Rock, the fighting is intense and the fire is spreading fast. Shenzi spots Nala in the middle of it all and says she's been waiting years for this. Nala doesn't flinch. She says she's not a cub anymore, and she goes after Shenzi with everything she has. Up above, Zazu dives in to help, trying to distract the hyenas, but he gets caught. Rafiki swings in and smacks the hyenas with his staff to free him, but the lions are outnumbered. Nala is getting overwhelmed by Shenzi. It looks bad until Nala bites down on Shenzi's neck and throws her clean off the rock. One by one, the other lionesses do the same. The hyenas can see they've lost. They turn and run, watching from a distance. Scar tries to quietly slip away, but Simba sees him. He goes after him and corners his uncle right at the top of the mountain. Nowhere left to go. Scar drops to his knees and begs. He says it wasn't his fault, it was the hyenas. He calls them disgusting scavengers and says he was actually planning to get rid of them all along. They had no idea, but the hyenas were right there listening to every single word Scar said, and Simba doesn't believe him for a second anyway. So Scar switches it up. He stops the excuses and just begs, please show me mercy. Simba thinks about it, and then he says, fine, go leave the kingdom, never come back. The exact same words Scar once said to him when he was just a tiny scared little cub. Scar puts his head down and starts walking away like he's actually going to listen. But then he spins around and throws a handful of burning hot coals straight into Simba's face. The fight is back on. They go at each other hard until Scar goes flying off the top of the rock, just like Mufasa did, but Scar survives the fall. He hits the ground, and the hyenas are standing right there waiting for him. Scar does what he always does. He tries to talk his way out of it, tries to fool them one more time, but it doesn't work. They heard every single word he said up on that rock, every last word. They don't wait. They don't hesitate. They go after him and they devour him alive. Then the rain comes. It pours down across the whole kingdom, slowly putting out the fire until every last flame is gone. Everything goes quiet. The fighting is over. Scar is gone for good. And Rafiki walks up to Simba, the same little cub he once held up for all of Africa to see now, standing tall as a full-grown lion. Rafiki crowns him. Simba is the new Lion King. The land starts to heal. Life comes back, and the kingdom returns to everything Mufasa always dreamed it would be. And that's the full story of The Lion King 2019. So what did you think of this movie? Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this recap, make sure you like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.